We're live.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello,
Welcome.
people.
Welcome.
We're back. Here to discuss all things business, side hustles, passions, project, and just things that you're working on. This is a live forum. That's kind of the whole point of this. So we'd like to have you engage if you can. Ask any questions in the chat, and we will address them when we get to reading them. We're going to discuss a couple topics and our own weeks and kind of lead into everything through there.
Yes. And we hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving week. I feel like we took a little break. Sasha and I were saying that it felt, we were like, did we skip a week of a live chatting? Because it feels like so long ago. But no, we didn't. And we got our tree up. Look at that.
I know, it looks so good.
You remember that bow? But I'm going to go into this tree topper story with Sasha. Or not so much the topper story, but just like us living in basically a 300 square foot apartment and trying to decorate. But so today's topics are staying consistent, something Sasha wanted to talk about, staying consistent in the media or in the media. Okay. And I wanted to talk about networking in 2020 and how different it is from networking in the past because everything is virtual, and there's also so many other ways since we're using social media in a different way now as a tool, Sasha likes to say. But first we're going to kind of recap our weeks because technically this is also for us to talk about things that we've had to deal with this last week or that we're dealing with upcoming. But yes.
And if you haven't met us virtually yet, we are both small business owners. Kat is the owner of The Kits and Pieces, and I'm the owner of Botanobites. And we are also working on other things all the time and like to stay productive and efficient and involved in different passion projects and creative interests that we have. Mm-hmm. So we opened up this platform just so we could build a community of like-minded people and help others with things we learn as we go. We are not experts. We just do a lot and like to share information with others. So
yeah, and we're kind of building, hoping to build a community, and I'm sure there are other entrepreneurship / side hustle communities, but we wanted to give a live platform for anyone that has any ideas, are not sure about something, want to know more about something, and we'll either look it up right now or we'll try to make it a topic the next time. So definitely want to make it kind of like a sharing environment instead of just us talking your ear off. So please feel free to leave any questions or comments in the chat that have to do with side hustles or work-life balance, anything like that, and we'll get to them in between the topics.
Yes. Yay. And we also do have, we forget to mention this all the time, we do have like our bachelor's degree. We're not just like
randos.
Oh, yeah.
We're also not 16.
Music business and graphic design. I feel like you also like probably should have minored in it, or maybe you did.
I minored in PR, which ended up being majority design classes.
Right. Yeah. Okay. And my degree, my undergrad was in anthropology, and then I'm now in grad school for acupuncture. So I'm more on the whole wellness side of things.
But I also has design.
And graphic design, and I do a lot of freelance work for other small businesses pertaining to graphic design and other random things related to business development. So
yes, fun fact, before she was an anthropology major, what was your major, Sasha?
I tried architecture for some reason.
Man, who really hated those late nights?
I have a lot of respect for architecture students and actual architecture people.
What did you have to do to turn like to? Did you have to turn in a portfolio for that?
You had your portfolio, but like every project was, we had like a project due every couple weeks or so, and you basically had to just stay up all night finishing it. Like that's just what everyone did. So you had like a key to like the actual room that you would go to like work in the studio. But it was just a lot of detail. Like you couldn't even have an eraser smudge on the paper. Like you had to have it be the cleanest, most perfect thing you've ever created. And I'm not a perfectionist at all. So I think that's why I couldn't make it. I was like, I don't care enough to do all this.
So you had to learn. Okay. Just also another fun fact for the team here. Sasha and I have known each other since ninth grade, but we didn't really get close till probably junior year, I would say, when she moved to a different city.
Yeah. We were like in and out.
Yeah, we were just friends, you know? So when she was in architecture, we were in the same university, but I mean, I would see her and we would hang out occasionally, but I wasn't so, into all the details. Okay, but going back a little bit, how did you even get in? Sorry, I'm just so intrigued right now.
Good question.
Like, what did you turn in? You were a photography, student.
I don't know. Maybe they just let me in.
Okay. Because I
usually, when I applied to I was undecided, and then literally last minute, I was like, let me just try architecture, and I switched into it for a semester. But I remember the other students that I was in it with were they were like, I wanted to be in architecture for my whole life. Like they were super committed and really about it. And I was like, oh gosh.
That's how I felt about music school.
So they stayed, but I don't know why they let me in. That's a good question.
Okay. I mean, not that you don't have the talent, but I was just like, I know you didn't have a portfolio.
I know, you would think they would need a portfolio though, and I don't feel like I provided them with one, so I have no idea.
Well, maybe that's also something, since it's more structural drawing, that maybe they teach it to you.
Right.
Wait, so you were making, you were making floor plans, blueprints, whatever they're called?
Yeah. I think one of our projects was we had to choose one building that we really liked, some famous building, and then we had to do a floor plan of that. And then another time we had to do I forget what it's called now, but I remember I did some Coconut Grove map thing where I had to draw. It was kind of artistic in a sense because you had to draw what stood out to you that represented that area. So I chose Coconut Grove, and you could choose obviously certain buildings or architecture in that area, or you can just choose landmarks and stuff. And then you had to design the layout of it. I should probably share that with you sometime. That was the one thing I was proud of because it was a little more artistic. But again, you can only use an ink pen. You can't use colors or other things. It's still very
blueprinty,
specific and blueprinty.
Yeah.
So, but I remember we had an art class, and I was like, oh cool, we get to take an art class. But I remember she was just super strict on having any smudge lines or any leftover traces of a pencil mark. She would knock points off for any of that, which is totally understandable. It does have to be amazingly neat and clean for architecture, but I'm not that person. So I was like, I don't think this is gonna work for me. But it was fun. I could see why people would stick to it. And it's just project based, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just have to draw something, and that's what you're turning in. So it's more fun than other classes and stuff. But I don't know, I guess I also like academia. I like learning and not just drawing and stuff. So,
and that kind of combines art with function. So
yeah, which is why I thought I would like it initially going into it. I was like, oh, this is perfect.
Yeah,
but
it's just very you have to be a perfectionist.
Yeah,
which is okay, maybe it only took you 30% of the time to create it, but then the other 70 is perfecting it, probably.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, so that's the annoying part. I remember I went to sit and I don't know if I was waiting for you or maybe you told me there's like a cool library, an architecture library or something to hang out in. I don't know why I was in there.
There was an architecture library. There was, yeah.
Or it was raining and I got stuck in there. I don't even know what happened. But I was like, this is a different world of people that attend this school.
It was a cool program too, because it was like in a separate area. Like the architecture school had like
its own architectural. Yeah.
Yeah, and it looked kind of weird compared to the rest of the campus. So it
very
was
fitting.
Cool. Yeah.
So I guess I was telling Sasha before we got out, or before we started, was I had like this weird like out of body experience reflecting my own shop.
Oh, that's right. What do you mean by that? Out of body business experience is how she termed it.
Because you know how normally we're like so invested and we're like, oh, and then this detail, gotta get this up, gotta make this. Okay, going on to this. I guess like because it was like Thanksgiving, I was just like, I had to stop working for a few days in a way. Whatever. You never stop working, but like not as crazy. And I just saw it from like an outside person's perspective of like I either need to take it to another level or this needs to be a side thing. And I guess I was thinking about that because we're getting into 2021.
Yeah.
And I just want to note for anyone who's listening out there that that's not a bad thing, is pushing something to be to the side, selling your business, or, you know, keep deciding to keep it a main thing. I mean, all of those things are equally valid. It doesn't mean like just because you have an idea it needs to, you know, you need to keep doing it even if it's bad, you know? And I don't think my idea is bad, but that's why I'm like, either I need to take it to the next level. And that's how businesses, I feel like, work. They work in moments. Life works in moments, right? We think life works in moments. So it's either it's exponential, so it's nothing happens, something happens, and it's taken to the next level. It's not like this thing, right? It's not a linear curve line. So I had this out of body thing where I was just like I'm working so much, and I'm like, who is seeing my stuff, you know? And then Chris has been working on ads, which if you're not even working on ads, ain't nobody seeing your stuff.
Yeah.
Especially now when everyone has an online, an e-commerce type of thing. So, and like, yes, you may be making some sales. I'm not saying just because you don't advertise, you're not going to make any sales. But if you're thinking of like, you know, anyone that has left their day job to do this full time, which I've also done before, it's not the same market anymore. You really need to think outside the box instead of just, this is my little store, this is my little vlog, whatever, you know? So I guess that's where I was kind of just like, well, Cattleya, are you gonna do this? Are you gonna be the next Boutique Party City? Or are you just gonna help people out whenever possible? And I guess there's one specific thing that happened, and I haven't answered this person, so I kind of wanted to run it by Sasha and the team. Oh, that should be our followers, the team, or like something related to that. Cute.
The team.
Oh. We have a new friend, I think. So, I guess the question was, okay, so someone, in the past, I used to take custom orders all the time. And everything custom, right? And I would have some stuff on my shop, but the majority of everything was custom. And I don't mind custom. I love custom because it's, honestly, if you sell a product, especially something that you have to make, once it's listed, it's just you replicating that project over and over and over, right? So it can kind of get boring in a way because it's mass production. So I do love custom orders because you can, you know, get creative.
Yeah.
So I guess my question now, because I've kind of shifted towards something that requires a lot more outsourcing. Like my party kits have a lot more outsourced items. So it's a lot harder for me to just customize something because I've been tailoring all my outsourced products to specific party kits. And I'm not at the point, and I'm planning this for 2021. 2021 is going to be more like, for example, birthday kits and and wedding related kits, so bachelorettes and whatever, right? And in time, I will have all the colors, all the types of plates, right? But even then, I won't have all the types of plates. Like, I won't have, like, because I'm focusing on unique themes.
Right.
So I'll have pastel finger painted themed plates, but that's not, that's not gonna, basically if someone has asked, so someone asked, I'm just gonna go into what they asked. They asked, they're having a bachelorette in a few weeks, and they asked for, a couple of things, and I don't have all of those things. And the old me would do anything to make the sale, right? But it's almost going to cost me more. It's not going to cost me more than what I'm charging them, but it's because I know them, right? And I'm already going to probably do it at a decent price. And the second thing is they showed a screenshot of something else that already exists that they want, and it's probably cheaper than what I would quote them for. So, because I don't have the products yet, because now I have to go find the missing balloons or whatever. So should I just tell them what I can make at this time, and say that, I'm not going to have wedding stuff probably till June of next year?
I guess it depends. Where, like, if they're asking for something general like a bachelorette kit, and you already understand what needs to go in a kit, period, and then you would just need to, like, theme it based on a bachelorette party, then that's one thing, because then you could use this request as a way of upping your deadline for when you thought of having a bachelorette kit ready. You could just, like, speed it up if possible to where you have it ready now or whatever, kind of use this as, like, you're forming the prototype for that kit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a good thing. If they're asking for something else that's, like, a little more custom or specific, then I feel like that's where you come into the dilemma of, like, is it better to just be a custom kit company or to be more general and have just one standard bachelorette kit that they would purchase? And if that's the case, then just tell them that, like, I would only have, one or two available, but they're not here yet, check back in June, whatever it is. Or if it's something you can, like, throw together through a custom kit, like how you used to do it, like mostly through Etsy and stuff, then you could do that and just do it so that you keep the customer and, like, keep the client. And maybe in the future they'll order from you. Maybe they'll order a general kit for something else because they liked your service or they liked what you gave them on the fly or whatever it is that, like, stuck out to them. But I mean, ideally you never say no to a customer. So that's where I'm like, how could it work out? But I think it could benefit you more if it either sped up your deadline where, like, because this person asked, you now created the kit earlier, or if you just did a custom and then just did it so that you keep the client and, like, keep it going.
So I guess, okay, I'm going to be a little bit more specific. I do agree with what you're saying. In this situation, I guess, basically rose gold is a very popular wedding color, or bachelorette or bridal shower, whatever.
Right.
And at this time, there's two things I don't have right now. A lot of rose gold. I don't have any rose gold because I've been making holiday themes, and none of the themes currently have rose gold in them. And rose gold is an investment. That's not a metallic rose gold balloon is expensive, and bulk is expensive, and it's going to be more than the project would cost. So basically, it's $26 to get a balloon garland online, like the one that they want. I mean, my balloon garlands are around the same price, but I don't have the rose gold, and she in the photo, and of course I don't have to do this, but in the photo, they have a mix of like the 12-inch balloons that we would play with, but then not the huge 36-inch one, but the one there's a middle size one in between that's 18 inches. So that in like ivory and rose gold, which are even more expensive. And I'm like, am I gonna go buy all of that to then make $26?
I think you could, I don't know, if you go with the option of having it help you by upping your deadline of having a bachelorette kit ready before June, then maybe just quote her, like just say this is how much it would be for that type of kit, and then just do what you got to do to get the kit together. You know what I mean?
I guess, okay, sorry. The other thing is I'm nervous because it's the November 30th, and it's in, I guess I probably would have to send it out in like a week. But if I order balloons, will it be here in a week? You know, because I'm not getting it from Amazon. So.
Yeah. Well, you have a lot of balloons currently. Could you just use some of what you already have?
None of them are. I know what they're looking for, and I would look for this too if I was doing wedding stuff. The blushes and the rose golds, those are really big colors. And for me, I guess I'm telling everyone too that it's like, it's not like I should just make everything at once. But I would say maybe September of next year, I should have everything.
Okay. I think, are they only asking for a balloon garland, or are they asking for other stuff?
Other stuff, and I've considered saying I can make the other stuff. But even then, the tassel garland, I don't have rose gold. The foil, like the gold foil that we used, I don't have rose gold on that either. So.
And what day do they need it by again?
The party's the 18th, but I would probably have to send it out, you know, the 14th would be the latest. But, I mean, who's going to order and then I send it out 3 weeks from today? Like, she could just go on Etsy. Just get it now.
I mean, I think because you don't have everything, then yeah, you probably should just tell her that you can't. But I would definitely try to, like, I don't know, have her subscribe to you, like.
Well, I know her, like.
Oh, okay.
She's not gonna like disappear.
Yeah. Okay, well, since you know her too, I would just be open and honest. Like, just explain the situation and how, like, you typically, like, you buy everything at once so that you can form each kit. I know I saw Mango King. I was like, oh shit.
Wait, Mango King's back. Sorry.
I know. I was like,
what is up? Oh, man.
He says to offer her a special deal. I mean, I think since you don't have the items that she's needing, or like the colors, which is like the biggest part of having it, I would just tell her honestly, like, that you don't have them, and that given the time frame, you wouldn't be able to meet that. But normally you would. But honestly, like, that's kind of on her that she, like, chose such a quick timeline. Like,
well, I mean, is it? Because if she just went on Etsy, that person has it. Whoever.
Yeah,
whatever
but
screenshot.
Like party, you know about that months in advance. Like,
use code MANGO for 10% off. Okay. He says ill rose gold as a color is not base. It's not based. It's not based. Basic. Whatever. Okay, party kits are stressful. You have tons of components to it, and it takes just one part to go missing to make things go awry. Yes. So, on that same note, though, because I go by section, right? So I've dedicated time to holiday kits already. If someone were to ask for a customized holiday kit, I mean, I have every color. I have like gold, white, black, you know, red, green, whatever. I have multiple types of red and multiple types of green. Like, it's much easier for me to put something together. But because I haven't dedicated time to wedding kits, as soon as I start wedding kits, rose gold is at the top of that list, right? So then someone else coming, it's easy.
I would just tell her all that. Like, tell her that you were planning to launch that X date, but right now you can try to make something with what you have, and then just tell her what you have. And if she decides to go to another Etsy shop or go somewhere else to buy the kit, that's fine. But at least you, like, told her what the options were, and just see what she says. Like if you just
Sold.
have some balloons that might look good together, or like a tassel that you could throw in, I don't know, like
Right.
the no place like home is kind of gold and like relevant. Like the tassel, or I don't know, something that could connect somehow. Or the Marion Bright, maybe the Marion Bright tassel.
That's red. Okay, so then I guess my point is, if I'm, let's say, this custom kit, whatever, let's say I do sell it, and, like, I'm asking also internally, should I, because on my website I have, like, a main page that's just, like, yellow is kind of rose gold. I have a create your own collection, and then basically it's a create now button, and they can fill out a form that kind of creates their own kit. But should I say, like, this needs like a 30-day lead time, like, or there's a minimum order amount? Because also, if I sell, let's say I do this whole thing for this girl, right, and I end up selling a kit for $70. How much work did I put in for $70?
Yeah, I was gonna say too, as a side thing, like for custom kits, you should definitely tell people to give you a month in advance at least.
Okay.
Because it's also not what you're wanting to specialize on. So for you,
yes,
that's not the priority. Your priority is getting other kits out there so that they are quick and easy to order, and they can just come directly to your door and in a timely manner, whatever it is. But the custom kits can't fall under that umbrella because they're custom. Like,
right.
I mean, assuming you want to get to the level you want to get to too, like you could have 10 custom kits in 1 week. Like one person, which is you, can't do all that. So I feel like if you at least had a month, you could plan it better and then execute more. So I think that should definitely be like bold, like give me a month in advance if you're wanting a custom kit. Otherwise, check out the website and see what kits are available now.
They don't understand.
And I was going to ask you too, I thought of this like over the week and I was going to text you, but I was like, I'll wait for the meeting. But are you planning, I was thinking this in the car, on doing a like VIP club?
Like a subscription?
Kind of. Yes, I guess it would be like a subscription, but like as a VIP member, you get a certain discount and you get to know about the newest kit coming out like a week in advance before everyone else does. And so not necessarily a subscription. You can also subscribe as a VIP member, and maybe that's a separate like fee structure. But as a VIP member, you just get like exclusive access to everything that you have.
I like that. See, I guess that's part of my next step question. Because it's like, I know one of the first things we talked about even back in the day was, having your email list and that, because so I feel like I want to go into the email list thing a little bit. I know this was a category that you picked another day, but whatever, we're talking about it.
Yeah.
I feel like people are always like, you always see sign up for the email list or pushing people to go to your email list. And now that I'm doing ads, I understand more than ever why you need an email list. And it's like before I was just like, oh, you need an email list because you can keep people connected. It's not even just keeping people connected. It's like these are the people that are even interested in what you have to sell. It's not even, maybe they never buy anything, but at least they care at one point in their life about you, which after putting out ads, it's like you really see, it really puts into perspective how many people there are out there and how little people care about what you have to say or what you have to sell. So the email list, let's say you have 2,000 people on your email list, that's 2,000 people that even remotely have the potential of ever getting something and will even possibly read what you have to say. And even then, what's the click-through rate of that? Like, not even 10%, right? Right. So, like, that to me is crazy. So, anyway, but yes, things like VIP, I wanted to do a subscription party box where, because subscriptions are everything, right?
Yeah.
And Sasha's had the Tanabites subscriptions. Well, do you still have them?
No, but they were popular when I did events. But I think for you, since you're doing so many ads, I think you'll get a lot of subscribers from just clicking the ads and going to your website. I even went to this website the other day because they had a Black Friday deal or whatever. And I noticed like typically the pop-up happens and you can hit exit. Like you don't have to subscribe, but they didn't have an exit button. And I was like, so literally I was just like, okay, because I want to see what's in here, I'm just going to go ahead and subscribe. Screw it. And I was like, that was smart. So you might want to consider that. Like, don't have an exit button. Just make them all subscribe.
Or sometimes they change the exit button to be like clear.
No, I clicked on the corners and nothing.
Yeah, so that's, I guess, my next thing where it's just like, I really have to just jump it, you know? And like, I can't be thinking, okay, I have like almost 600 followers and then I'm just gonna reach for, 800 followers. Like, it needs to be like, what are we doing? Like, I need to do like 10 collabs, get to 3,000 followers, and it sounds like it's a big jump, but again, we think in exponential curves because 3,000 followers and 10 collabs is still nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but with that, it's not just that part of the jump. I need to go find some funding, right? So either I get a loan or apply for grants or do a Kickstarter, which is funny because I already started it, but whatever. Something, right? There needs to be some funding here because your girl is not fluffing.
Yeah.
And a pile of cash here.
Wow.
Wait, I didn't read.
I was saying we should pull up his podcast. He has a podcast. I was asking what it's about.
In my channel with Canva as well. So it looks clean. I'm also putting a music video for the intro channel video. Oh, music video! Guess who loves music videos? This girl. We would love to see that whenever you're...
Oh, wait! I'm sorry. I confused him with someone else, I think. We've seen his podcast then, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking he was someone else. My bad. I remember now. Okay.
Who are you thinking of? You think of Smash.
Yes.
You think of Smash.
Yeah. Because Mango King in my head reminded me of like a game. I don't know. Whatever.
Fake. To inform ignorant people about different perspectives.
No, when he wrote that, I was like, wait, someone else had a podcast like that.
I'm so sorry. I'm glad we put the we are not experts on that because this is a clear moment of that.
Unfollowed. I'm hurt. So, okay, that's what we were saying. So yeah, I think you should definitely do a VIP thing and the subscription box too, but I almost think it could be like two separate things. Like,
so do you think I should come out with a few more themes before I go into that? Okay.
Actually, no. I think you should come out with it now. Because I think as you come out with the new ones, which you're going to come out with a bunch more, that's when you could be like, if you're a VIP, you're going to get exclusive notification of when it comes out, or you're going to get an exclusive discount when this one comes out. And you can like preview, like, oh, I'm going to have a Netflix and chill one. I'm going to have this one. And it gets people more excited to join and be a VIP member.
So yes.
Or that way too, like if someone's looking for a custom bachelorette party kit or all these other kits that they're thinking of, you can just already tell them like, well, sign up to be a VIP member and you'll know the date that one's gonna launch or whatever. Like you can tell them what you have in store for them or what you're planning on doing so that they know like you're about your shit. Like you got a kit for everything and more.
Yeah. I like that idea. See, this is why I'm going to use December to regroup a little bit here because I can't just be hustling away making a ton of new themes. Mango King.
That gets you a committed following, like a committed community of customers too. Like if they subscribe to VIP, then like they're with you. You know what I mean?
What I've noticed is to get to that level is a lot of website work. Meaning I need to have like articles. Mango King, I'm going to answer your question in a second. We need to have like articles that pull people in. Sorry. So your Pinterest game needs to be strong so that they click it for a reason and then sign up. I mean, I've signed up for a bunch of things just to read recipes. So
But even like if on like the pop-up window of your website, if there was just like a checkbox that was like VIP member, or I don't know, just like a little quick blurb of like join the VIP club and get exclusive discounts and
see, but then I have to keep up with a VIP, like what the VIP gets, plus what the regular people get. So it is more work.
Well, I think it would just be a discount code. Like, I think it could just be a discount code. Because, okay, through MailChimp, you can create templates for things. So you can have, like, a VIP.
If they sign up, they get a...
Yeah, and then it's just an automatic thing they receive. And then, like, maybe once a month, just send out the template for the VIP club. And then they get the discount. They see what kit's coming up. Like, the templates make it easier. And you can even have, on MailChimp, you can have multiple different subscription lists. So you can have your master, which has everyone, or you can have other types of lists like the VIP club, or you could have like subscription mailing lists. Like you can have different types. So whenever you make something, you can just choose that list to send it to, and it'll only send it to those people.
Do you still do a monthly newsletter?
I fell off. I like don't do anything now, but I did, and it was helpful. And I feel like I had most of my people sign up from events though. So once I stopped doing events, I felt like it was just harder to get subscribers, but I also wasn't doing ads. So I didn't do what I should have done.
Okay, so I'm going to answer Mango King's question really quick. And then I want to go into the networking in 2020 since you're kind of starting to talk about it already. If that's cool. Do you have any friends that do music I could use for the music video? Preferably a cheap music license. Yeah, definitely. So, well, I was a music major, but my boyfriend he works at a studio and they do all kinds of tracks. So definitely, yes. Are you just looking for like a track, like without like a little, like an intro song? Because we could help you find that too. Maybe there's one that already exists, but just a 2-minute song. Yeah.
There's also like the thing I used. I think it's called Soundscape, but you can download a sample of the songs that they have on Soundscape, and you can use a portion of that to overlay in a intro video.
Yes,
so like once you put your video into like iMovie or whatever you're using to edit it, you can then add the music file and it'll just play alongside the video that you have.
But that's only a minute.
Yeah, it's only a minute. Yeah. So you'd have to either shorten your video to a minute so that you can have it be just a free song in that, or you'd have to purchase a song from someone.
So yeah, I think even on their website, they have already made tracks for like $15 or something, but
yeah, you can buy the tracks too.
So
I think it's called Soundscape. And you can search based on like the mood you're looking for or the genre you're looking for or the feel. Like they have a lot of different options for like what you're looking for, and then they like feed you the results for that.
So I just asked if he can go on and help us out with some answers. Sorry. Okay.
Let me look it up for him.
1 second. Let me see. These are like happy, jolly songs, so it's a little bit different.
What was the one?
All right, check this out. Photography by Kat Leah. But they also have like a okay, so let us go on to the topic of networking in 2020. So I feel like I'm ready to move on to the next step, right? Because the first step for me was making all these kits and trying to create a product that's understandable to human beings rather than I just make banners and I just make props and I can
Right.
also coordinate your wedding. Like that's so like all over the place, right? So I was working on like this is what I do.
Yeah.
And then so now I want to go on to the next step of like networking and collabs and whatever, but I kind of want to see like what really is the way to like what works, you know, because it's like okay, collabs, like what are the results of that? Even like am I just giving my stuff to these people and hoping that they post it, or maybe they do post it and hoping I get 5 followers from it, like. And then I've seen so many people just be like DM to work with us and it's all like fake, you know, so how do we get past that?
Yeah.
Next step is world domination.
Yeah, and he uses Instagram as basis for networking in 2020. And TikTok, I don't know much about TikTok. I haven't really traveled down that rabbit hole yet.
I guess like for example, let's say TikTok, right? We're using TikTok. I mean, I have a TikTok, but I don't post on it. But people do a bunch of things on TikTok and they use it for networking. But no one buys through TikTok. That's like the TikTok has ads, but no one is going on TikTok for the purpose of purchasing something.
Right. So I think it depends on the business. Like if you're doing a podcast, then I think TikTok helps because it also could do videos and stuff. So like advertises your platform on a different platform. But I think, yeah, for selling stuff, I don't know that it would actually do much.
But it would connect you.
I feel like networking mostly just depends on your industry. Like even for you, when you told me about Pinterest, I didn't even know that was a thing. Like I didn't even know you could even network through Pinterest in that way to like generate sales and everything else. Once you explained it to me, I was like, oh, of course. I can totally understand that now.
Well, that's part of the other thing too, is I feel like don't I have to join some like Facebook groups and Pinterest groups and Etsy groups or whatever the heck, because apparently, so this is the Pinterest side of it, right? But I'm sure there are equivalents in other ways. But I've heard or I've read that Pinterest then has a group that's like a collab playlist on Spotify. And they have a collab board. And if you're part of their group, you can post on their collab board, which already has hundreds of thousands of followers. So then if you make it into their group, your pin is now being seen by the world rather than me pinning on my own page and it's being seen by maybe 1,000 people. So that's part of expanding too. It's just expanding correctly, you know? I don't want to spend tons of hours just trying to maybe it's more worth it to join a bunch of groups on Pinterest than it is to do a Pinterest ad. I guess is what I'm trying to weigh out. Like, what are some great growth ideas in terms of networking, since we can't go out to these networking events?
Right.
And yeah, wait. You should also do polls as social media flash on your.
I like what you just said. We could do that through IG. Yeah.
Polls to see which audience or which platform. Yes.
Ha.
Ha! I'll send you a party kit.
I'll send you a thumb.
Yeah, so I agree with you. He says, I've networked with you guys technically, and I'm loving it so far. And I'm so glad that you found us and we found you and all that. Are you going to other people also? Are you just going on Twitch, for example, and finding people, or how are you finding people? I guess is my question. Like Sasha used to do a lot of farmers markets, which was great. And
Yeah, I mean, I think that's where it's like networking in 2020 because nothing's in person anymore. Or like it can't be like it used to be. But yeah, so I feel like ads and just like putting stuff on as many different social media platforms as possible helps because at least more people are seeing it no matter what. So maybe even that helps. Even if you're not getting a sale directly from that platform, now just 10 extra people or 100 extra people have heard of it. So it's like,
yes, and any amount of
worth
people counts.
yeah.
Cause I guess for me it's also like, again, like we always say, your social media, all of the platforms, are basically your resume. So if I go to see if I want to buy something and I see 2 pins or 600 followers, I'll just either think this person is new, right? Or they're not that great. Maybe they don't have a ton of followers.
Right.
And it's unfortunate because it could be the greatest product in the world and they maybe just got an Instagram or something. Like some of the older businesses I know, I've been to, have now just gotten an Instagram, because they've just been around for so long before social media. Or don't even have social media and like they'll have like a Facebook page or something, right? But how will other people, I mean, there's 7 billion people. It's like, can I just get 100 people a month to consistently buy from me?
I think that's possible. I think through VIP and subscription stuff, that's possible. And I do think like if you have an online primary store or business, you have to have subscription options because that's the only way you're going to get like that recurring monthly check. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Well, yeah, that's what I eventually want to do, subscriptions. And for anyone who is newly tuning in, the reason I decided to do party kits was because I was doing so many customized things that I ended up having all sorts of inventory in my house, and it's not profitable in the long run because you're spending so much time per person and you have so much inventory that you don't get rid of. So the reason I streamlined to make party kits was because I was like, this is the inventory I have for this product, and it's much easier to sell a complete product like that, right? But so I guess my point in saying that is now, though, because they're all unique themes, I have to learn to pitch it, if that makes sense. Like the flamingo, if you've ever seen Let's Flamingo or something as a theme, or even a taco, Let's Taco About It, like the party theme, that's a taco party theme. I mean, somebody had to make that happen and let the world know about it. I'm sure that party theme has existed since we were like 5 years old, but I mean, I remember when Sasha and I had to glue on my emoji party. Sasha came over. She was there till like 1 o'clock in the morning for my birthday party the next day, and we were gluing on heart eyes to gold balloons to make emoji faces because no one was selling emoji party themes. And then 6 months later, we go to Party City, and I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
It's like everywhere.
And those were like your most popular item that you sold on your Etsy shop too.
Yes. So I guess like because, I mean, but there's no need for that, right? We should be able to streamline something that's unique without having to sit there till 1 o'clock in the morning gluing on eyes on a balloon. So, I guess like in terms of networking, I just want to find ways that are also convenient because like we've noticed farmers markets are good for you, right? Mm-hmm. But they're not exactly great for me because I have to pre-make so many products. But something that might be better for me would be trying to get into a store and sell complete kits and just have, 2 or 3 themes on their shelf. So, but then it's like stuff like that where it's like, okay, if I'm trying to get into a store, do I need to get better packaging because I'm going to be on a shelf now? instead of being mailed out in a brown box?
I've seen a lot, like I had that same question, but I feel like I've seen a lot of businesses that did not have great packaging still get into stores, or sometimes you'll still get into the store and then the store will tell you, hey, can you update this or can you add this? But they won't say no to you just because of the packaging. I think they'll say yes before they say no, and then they'll just say what to work on. So I think it's good to just go ahead and tackle that, like apply to stores or make a list of stores that you might eventually like apply to. Especially in your industry, I feel like you don't have that much competition.
Yes. Sorry, I'm just reading our Mango King here. Wait, I need to go back a little bit. Whoa, 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 whoa. This is why we need Discord, so you can just join
He was saying that you used to be able to sort like the feed of the videos from low to high, and that's how he found us, by scrolling down. But now that's like a changed feature on Twitch. But he was saying because we don't have that many viewers, and that's how it's like basically categorized, that we could increase that by adding tags, which we don't have right now.
I agree with that. Yes, we need to spend some Twitch time, which is going to be part of our end of December thing. So I'm putting my shop in vacation mode around like Christmas, New Year's, but then I'm going to focus on Twitch instead during that time. So, no cap, I could use a party kit for my cousin's wedding coming up next year. Yes! Do you know about how they nerfed just chatting? You can't sort from low to high anymore.
That's what he was saying, how he found us.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, dude, we got so many weird, shady people in the beginning. I mean, yeah, I turned on the mods now, so it's a little weird. I mean, a little less weird, but yeah, I mean, it's hard to find the newer streams. What is Patreon? Patreon?
I've heard of it. Yeah, but I think you have to like pay to use it, like subscribe and pay, or I don't know, something like that.
It's so funny. I'm sorry. I missed that. You know I can't multitask. What did you just say?
The Patreon thing, I think you have to pay for or something.
Oh.
I think, or like the people that do it have to like pay to subscribe, or I don't know. There was like one podcast I listened to that was on Patreon, and they kept advertising it. They're like, go to Patreon, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know how it works. I just want to get these onto YouTube.
Right. Okay, so one step at a time. I'll write that in our notes so we remember. So yeah, so even that, you know, we have 4 viewers and it takes 2 minutes to scroll down past all the other just chatting, which are just really, I feel like, mostly gamers not playing a game.
Right.
Right, so of course they're going to be at the top. But, well, especially because we have no viewers. So, and then I guess Sasha and I have also talked, it's like, is Twitch the best platform for this? And maybe we should just do YouTube Live.
Yeah.
So there's that too. It's like, just because we're like trying something doesn't mean that's the best method. And, or that we're attracting the right people. I mean, you're the right people, Mango King, but in the grand scheme of it, you know, it's like, well, also we're not trying to have, like, I'm happy, let's say we have 500 viewers at this now, but only like 3 to 5 are chatting in. I mean, that's pretty much all we can handle, because how are we going to handle 20 people chatting in questions, right? That's like insane. We'll probably just get rid of topics and we'll just answer questions. So I guess Sasha and I have to define that too, like what it exactly are we shooting for? And again, this is a side project, but okay, continuing. Humble beginnings, and one of your viewers by tags. Yes, we said that. Yes. I'm weird and shady. I know we have you, and we're very grateful for you. Patreon has a way to offer exclusive content to people who pay monthly. Okay. I can also raid you with my fans. So, for example, something that I learned from Chris was usually middle schoolers. Oh my gosh, middle schoolers on Twitch. This does not give me much hope for having a family in the future. I'm gonna go be Amish or something. But something that we could also do is, for example, when we're not live, we can feed someone else's video. If someone comes to our page, for example, and Mango King is live, Mango King's video will pop up if it's not our time. And then same thing with the other way. Like, if Mango King is not live, our video can, come up.
Oh, wow.
If he's not live today. So.
That's through Twitch?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess that's a collab idea.
I don't know. I personally think I would probably just lean more towards YouTube Live.
Yes. Just because it's just, I don't even know, I mean, across all platforms, I don't know how many people tune into YouTube Live either. But,
right.
But
I just think the audience on YouTube is more diverse, so we'd have more potential of finding the type of people we're looking for than
right.
Twitch. But
do you guys go onto YouTube Live, Mango King and Seabase? Well, I don't know. Actually, does Seabase go onto? Or do you just go onto YouTube and maybe if it says live, you'll tune in? I don't know. The only thing I listen to
probably works where, like, if you are on YouTube and you subscribe to that channel, then you probably get a notification whenever those people go live. But that's fine. I mean, either way, like, if people are looking at the videos, that still helps.
Yeah.
Even if it's not the live videos.
I get what you're saying. Definitely the videos. I think the videos should be there. So there's always one weirdo who will watch. So I guess there's just like endless possibilities of ways to network. But I think the next step I want to take is definitely joining different kinds of groups on different platforms. I don't know what, my finger just did like a gang sign there a second. I was like,
have you looked into joining like Facebook groups? Like,
right.
Are there like party planning based Facebook groups locally, like even like around your area?
There is one that's an event group, and you can only join if you become a member.
Yeah. And I know you can't technically like sell your business through them. Like, you can't post like, oh, go here.
You can. You basically, with different levels of membership, for that one at least, different levels, it's only like a $30 difference in between the levels. But like one of the levels you can advertise twice a year. And then you get like discounts on other types of advertisements. Like if you want to be on their website or you want to sponsor an event. Well, if you sponsor an event, you don't pay anything. But if you want to be on this page of their website or sponsor an event, or even like on Wedding Wire, if I want to be a higher listing, I can pay. But Wedding Wire is more expensive. But at first I used to think these were like so lame. Like, oh, what a scam, you gotta pay. But then it's like, well, no one's looking at it. And I'd rather event planners look at my stuff than no one.
Yeah, well, and I think your audience or the types of people that would be buying kits are going to be a lot of the Facebook people, like the people that are on Facebook a lot. Like, those are usually like older people and families and stuff.
Yeah.
But you could, I don't know, maybe have the marketing person just make a list of groups to add themselves to, or add kits and pieces to.
What's so weird? It's like, I get Pinterest, right? The collab thing. Like, getting your post on that collab that already has tons of thousands of followers. But to me, I guess this group right here, Mango King, Seabase, us, didn't really grow up in Facebook groups or joining a group in general.
Yeah.
So like we're not like drawn to it. But then like Chris's mom is also an entrepreneur, and she is all over that world. I mean, she's an older demographic and all of that. But there are so many random like groups, like Nashville moms, and I'm like,
Yeah.
who would join that?
Those
Nashville.
demographics are the ones that would buy your kids, I feel like.
Right.
Like,
But
those
then
are
to me,
people
it's like,
you need.
it doesn't occur to me because I'm not a mom.
Right.
And I'm not, also not a group like I don't go to groups for information or for products. But these people do. Like it's just such a different world.
I know, but it's good.
Yeah,
You should
literally.
do that. For networking in 2020, I think Facebook groups are definitely high on the list.
Okay. I'm gonna do Pinterest and Facebook. See, and then it's like, I guess the reason I make it a step, side note to the world, it's just how Cat Leia does things, which is different from how Sasha does things. Is the reason I say like now I'm gonna focus on growth and collabs and networking is because I really value maintenance. So I could have joined all these groups a while ago, but I would have never posted, I would never look at it, and what good is that? Like I'd rather be ready to join and then, mark on my calendars like every week post or connect with these people because that's the point of it, right? The point is to join it and connect. So that's the only reason I'm like, now I'm going to focus on this. And once it's built into my routine, then I can start doing other stuff and it's built in. But that's the only reason I'm making it an event.
I think it's a good idea.
Making it an event. Who would have thought? Cat Leia making something an event. And yeah, so groups. We're gonna go with groups and collabs. I guess like collabs, my new marketing friend and I have been thinking of some people, and we kind of have like a pretty sure these people would do it. Then these people have a bigger following, also still pretty sure they would do it. And then this is the reach. These people have a ton of followers and they might not do it at all.
Right.
But technically this list is my biggest list just because if we just shoot out to like 20 people, hopefully one.
Oh yeah, totally.
No, yes.
You'll get feedback. I think it's easier to get into those types of people, like the influencers, to say yes. I think it's harder to actually see sales come from it. And that's what is kind of discouraging because you'll give away a free kit or a free product hoping you at least get like 5 sales at the minimum because they have like thousands of followers, but you won't. So then it's like, damn. But with your industry, it might be different. I mean, that was my experience whenever I like reached out to influencers, is they were all about it. They would post about it, good posts. I even got like some good content from them, but barely any sales. And I've heard other businesses have that kind of same turnout. But it's still worth it to pursue it and still like collab and find influencers that could market your product. But
well, that's why I think, and this will lead into your next topic, you're playing the long game, and and yes, the 10-year long game, but the ads, I mean, there's awareness ads and conversion ads, right? So even just after this weekend of cyber sale ads, we have learned that we're probably going to do story ads that are awareness ads, meaning learn more or visit the website instead of just a hard sale, because nobody buys through stories. They see it and then they just think about it. But also, before I bought Overtone, the hair coloring thing, I saw their ad probably 20 times.
Yes, I think about that statement all the time now. Like that, when you said that, you were like, it takes a certain amount. Like you said some number, like 3 or 4 times.
7 times before someone gets annoyed with you, and then. But a lot of people stop because they don't even want to reach back out or follow up because they think that person's annoyed with them. 7 times before someone is like, okay, I don't want this.
Yeah, I've gotten a text from Overtone like every day. A text, not an email, a text. And I just ignore it. I haven't gotten annoyed yet, but it's definitely been more than 7 times. I am kind of annoyed. kind of
No, well,
annoying.
now you're probably annoyed. I think that's a lot, though. Like text, email, and
No,
ads.
it's ridiculous. Like, to me, it just seems desperate. Like, then it's weird.
Well, it's also, I feel like, I understand from their side now where if they don't do that, like imagine us even talking about overtone. How many products are there? And we're deciding to talk about overtone just because they've been in our face so much. And now we're
Yeah.
talking, and somebody else is listening now about overtone, you know?
Yeah.
So there's so much, again, I feel like I'm under a pile of garbage. And we're just trying to
No,
get to the top.
yeah,
So
a lot of garbage.
we're just getting to the top of a pile of garbage. We're not even trying to get to the top of like the heavens or anything, you know? We're just trying to get... I feel like, you know, in what is that, Master Disguise throwback movie? Turtle.
Yeah.
Turtle. So yeah, so I think, you know, with the ads and then joining the groups, so what we're going for is not, and I'm sorry, with the collabs too, is just so people know about you. And what we're going for is not an immediate sale. Like Cyber Sale weekend is like an immediate sale, right? But regularly it's to be top of mind when it's time.
Right.
So even for your podcast, Ignorance is Bliss, Mango King, it's like maybe you don't have a ton of viewers, but you want to be the top of mind when someone thinks about the topic you just talked about or the person you just interviewed and they go to your video. How many times have I shared that indie mogul video, like about how to talk to clients,
Yeah.
how to negotiate pricing with clients? I've shared that video to so many people because, and you know, it's just because it was top of mind when it was time to talk about it. So, and anyway, so that I think is the value in collabs, because they're going to be like, oh, who was that, you know, functional mini muffin girl? Banana Bites.
Right.
That's right.
Right.
And maybe they don't buy it, but they tell their mom who's super into fitness or whatever.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's a long game, but I mean, I learned a lot too. My original, like, well, in marketing, right? They tell you about the 4 Ps of marketing, which is product, place, people, product, place, and position, right? So, this is a throwback. This is how old we are. I'm like, what were the 4 Ps of marketing? So the people are always first. People always put product first, but it's the people that are first. Who are we doing this for, right? And then your product is after, and I'm going to go into why I brought this up in a second, but the place, it's not so much place like I'm in Nashville. It's like opening a Starbucks next to a local coffee shop.
Right.
To be the competition, like, you know, like placing, like where are you placing your product, and then position, which is how are you marketing it, kind of like how are you marketing. Yeah, sorry, okay, that's it. Well, the point of me bringing this up is that the product, my Gobble Gobble kit, I had put Go Pluck Yourself. That was the original name of the kit, Go Pluck Yourself kit. And I thought it was funny because it was just kind of like a much more unique thing than a Gobble Gobble kit, because a lot of people have it. I mean, Gobble Gobble is just the first thing you think of when you think of Thanksgiving, like top 3 things, right? So I didn't want to do just a basic Thanksgiving kit. So I wanted to do this super cool, like unique, like Go Pluck Yourself Friendsgiving, very like, you know, let's get basted. And then I realized no one wanted it. Meaning, like, there aren't even that many Thanksgiving things out there to begin with. And which is very different than Christmas. Christmas, I could have gotten away with a little, like, Slay All Day could have, you know, we get away with it. But there wasn't even that many Christmas stuff. So when I changed it back to Gobble Gobble, it was so much more appealing to people. Just the fact that there was even a Christmas.
Well, it probably made it more searchable.
That too.
Like people do say gobble gobble, or like you say that and you think of Thanksgiving right away, or like there are a lot of things already on the market that advertise that phrase, so it could help in it eventually leading to your stuff.
Right. I
Like,
guess it's just, to me, it ends up being that people gravitate to what they know a lot more than they gravitate to something new. And the only, huh?
because it's risky for them.
Yes, even though it's a freaking banner in a party kit. That's the only
Yeah.
difference in the whole party kit, right?
Right.
And I even, so basically what I ended up doing was the default banner was gobble gobble, but you can choose. So I guess I was testing it too. I was like, you can choose your banner upon checkout. You choose your kit. What do you want your banner to say? And one of them was, actually a few of them were more on the vulgar side. And so it was like, go pluck yourself, let's get basted, all about that base, and then I'll have like gobble gobble and like thankful, or Thanksgiving 2020. And almost everyone just chose gobble gobble because they just didn't want to.
Maybe there's also like, because you're a new company, then they're going with the more like reliable, trusted option, which is gobble gobble. But maybe once you have a following or like a
True.
VIP club, they are going to be more about like the go pluck yourself kit, like later on down the road. So maybe it's also timing, or like the stages of like business development, where it's like right now you're in like tier 1, but like in a year or two you're in tier 2 because you have like a more established audience and following. So they're going to be already committed to your ideas and your uniqueness. Whereas like, since you're still starting off, they're kind of like, well, who is this, or what's the business? Like, they're still kind of like questions, so they're just going to go with the safe option. But I think in time, your VIP members would love a go pluck yourself or whatever it is. But maybe when you're thinking of kit ideas, like even for the Christmas one, maybe like just doing like No Place Like Home, but then next year launching a different one. Or for VIP members, they get like, I don't know,
Extras
maybe,
or whatever.
Yeah, like you could release different designs and themes based on audience level.
One thing that is big risk though, image. Clean image is important to not get canceled. Wait, is that an old message? Sorry. Oh, new. Sorry. I wasn't looking for a second. Doesn't matter how long you're out of school, human nature doesn't change, but the marketing game does. Yeah, so I guess like one of my key features of my products, one of the key features of my product is convenience. I'm sorry, convenience is one of them, but is unique theme. And I've started recently pitching convenience. We've started recently pitching convenience more than unique theme, because people care more about that.
Yeah.
Right? And the reason I didn't want to pitch convenience is because everybody's pitching convenience, but I'm like, well, if everyone's pitching convenience, there's a reason people react to it. So why? I guess we don't have to change the game. We have to play the game and win it.
Yeah. Well, I think it's also like Thanksgiving is typically like family holiday. Like, people probably don't even do the effort of having a Friendsgiving unless they're just like, yeah, bring over some food.
Yeah.
They're not gonna like go the whole 9 yards for like a Friendsgiving thing, because they probably feel guilty. They're not even with their family, whatever. So I feel like gobble gobble is more general and like more family friendly, which is probably also why like people went for it more. Because like you got your grandma there, you got your parents, you got your cousins that you never see, and your random uncle that you haven't seen in years. Like,
yeah. So yeah, technically holiday season is supposed to be the biggest one, but I also started doing the party kits, like revamping from what I used to sell to party kits, starting in July, which I wanted to be the most relevant, and so it's all holiday stuff right now. That's why I was like, next year, and like in January, I want to start doing birthdays and weddings birthday and wedding kits, because there's less holidays. I mean, there's a few, but these are the real holidays, right? But yeah, I guess part of me did holidays, and that should be the biggest season, but technically it's better for me to have a kit that is timeless, like a wedding kit, or different types of wedding kits, or different types of birthday kits, because there's no end date for that. It's also easier for me to market something that doesn't have such a time crunch, right? Like, we're putting out a ton of Christmas ads right now, and Christmas also has a ton of competition. So technically, this is really just for research. Like, we're doing the ads now for research. And yeah, I'll probably make like a few sales from this, but it's not gonna be like, whoa,
Right.
sold out. It is hardcore snowing today, team.
Oh my gosh.
This is my first time living in snow, so I've just occasionally been looking outside. It's very exciting.
It's not snowing here anymore. Oh wait, it is!
It's like little flurries.
It's not sticking though, it's just like raining.
Yeah. It's a little drier now, but yeah, it's not sticking either. Oh my gosh, it just feels like we're inside a snow globe, and I've just never experienced it, so include a breath inside the mask. Some people need it. Oh my gosh. No, I know. That's the part I'm not looking forward to if we ever have to do that. I don't think we have to do that in Nashville, shoveling snow. So it's funny you say COVID masks in your party kits, because that's my New Year's theme, is a masquerade, but spelled masquerade, and then you get masks, and it comes with detachable feathers, because it's like a Great Gatsby thing.
So cute.
Sorry. So lame. And okay, so then that is the end of my networking spiel there.
I think you should consider doing different, like, I don't know, I just thought of this, but like maybe 3 Christmas kits like was a lot. Like maybe just 2.
No,
And
next
then-
year I only want to do like one sorry, I'm gonna do one fall kit. I'm not even gonna do a Halloween kit, because I feel like a ton of
people
people
just trick or treat.
yeah, no one has like a Halloween party. And whatever. Kids aside, I kind of want to do more. I would love to do like a we've talked about this in the past, like 2016 past, but like little boxes, like people can just order for like their kids' birthday parties, and it's like a craft box, like they make it at the party. I don't know, some kind of little gadget and whatever. Man, it's crazy how much money parents spend on their kids. I'm like, I'm gonna get my
Like a
kid,
crafting
like,
kit.
a teddy bear. Like a what?
Like a crafting kit.
Yes. Whatever. We'll get to that. But yeah, I only want to do like a fall kit, and then one.
Wait, that's a
holiday
good
kit.
idea. Like a whole kids line of just like different like kits that are just like with crafts in them. So
Yes.
like parents can buy them for their kids to do at home, or like when they have like a birthday party.
Yeah, and that way they have to buy like 12 kits every time, because that's how many kids you have at your party. But Sasha?
Smart.
Are you back? Okay. I lost Sasha for a second there. We still lost her. Hello? Oh, you're back. Okay. So,
Am I back?
yeah, you're back. I was just thinking that... Oh, yeah, I just wanted to come up with a lot of kits this holiday season. Just to have kits. I mean, otherwise I don't have a product, right? You go to my page and...
No, I
2 kits.
agree.
Now there's at least 8 kits, and then I'm coming out with 2 more. So when there's 10 kits, you're like, oh, this person has a real website.
Right.
They sell something.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, these kids these days want AirPods and an iPhone rose gold. Rose gold. Like a loot box? No, not like a piñata. Are we trying to do loot box? Sorry, I was trying to think. Yeah.
I've even seen those like, oh, I have one here. It's like these little tiny little easels from like Michael's, but you can put like a little tiny square canvas on them, and you can like draw or paint on them. It's like a cute little craft.
It's so weird because I was looking the other day on, dang, what was I on? I forgot even which platform I was on. Like, either LinkedIn. I think it was on LinkedIn. So a platform that I didn't think would even offer this as an option. And it was like, what are your hobbies? And crafting was one of them. And I just remember when I was in freaking high school, that was never an option anywhere. And I was the only loser that was into that. And it's so weird that everyone's into, I feel like I've said this in the past Twitch, like I thought Michael's was going to go out of business.
Yeah.
Like I swear they were going to close their doors. And I guess to me now that, not that now it's a thing, but now that I'm on the other end of it, crafting is exhausting. I've had friends that have just bought Cricuts this year, and I think the Cricut is one of the most amazing craft machines ever. But this year, I'm trying to steer away from the Cricut because, yes, you can make customized things, but it takes so much time.
Yeah.
And it's not worth the money. Like,
no. Like, I feel like too what helped all the crafting acceptance and like trend stuff was the whole like DIY movement. Like I feel like everything became DIY. And I didn't even know what that term meant at first. I was like, what is DIY? Like I kept hearing it and I was like, and then I thought about it and I was like, oh, like I do that for everything.
I know. We've been DIYing our entire lives.
Do it yourself, like okay. No, but because it became a trending term, it was just like now everywhere.
Yeah, the only way you can increase your time is by hiring people. And I do agree with that. And that's part of my expansion the brainstorming that we're doing right now, and then I'm going to keep doing. But I mean, I just hired someone to help me with marketing. And she's been helping with social media, but I mean, we want to I don't want her to be like sitting, here's your Monday afternoon post, here's your Tuesday morning post. Like, I don't need that.
Yeah.
I want, help me find good collabs, help me find ways to expand. How should I, like, if we're going to do that VIP thing, maybe, she can help me brainstorm that. So,
right.
Not so much all the posting possible because I did that last time and that didn't do much.
Right.
Not that the person was bad, but the campaign was not worth it. So, yeah, I mean, if I need to hire someone, right, we should not be afraid that we need to hire someone, but we should have proper funding for it. So, that's part of the expansion game too. So, but that's what I mean by like, if I'm going to do it, we just need money. Like, there's no, let's wait. Maybe, like, when we start bringing in income. I love to listen to that podcast. I don't know if you listen to this, Mango King. How I Built This. I love that podcast.
Yeah, it's really good.
But, I mean, all these crazy big companies have had all kinds of stories. But I love Warby Parker. I mean, they built it in college, whatever, but they sold out in 24 hours. But I also feel like that is not the norm.
I mean, I feel like a lot of those companies, though, you can tell, like, it was the timing of when they released whatever it is. And that was just, that one company just happened to be lucky with the timing that they released that specific item. It could have been any other company, in my opinion, because of the timing. But it was just, it was that one. I don't know. I mean, there's other success stories, though, where they really built it. And, like, I started working for this company recently, which I wanted to tell you about. They had a, like, Thanksgiving special thing where they talked about their origin story and, like, from start to finish. It was so amazing. Granted, like, the owner of the company is very charismatic and really good at storytelling, so hearing it from him made a huge difference. But he basically said that they started the company, and it's now like a software that schools and universities use to allow students to study with each other and share information and share notes and just like come up with answers to the homework assignments or if they need help with anything. So obviously it's more popular now because of the pandemic, but they've had this for years. Mm-hmm. I think they started in 2016. No, sooner than that. Yeah, it was sooner than that. I can't remember the date though, but whatever. So initially the owner of the company was making a bunch of money. He had a really, really good job. tons of money coming in. He was like 18, 19 years old, super young, and just like banking. He like in the presentation he showed us his actual statements from like what he was making back then, which was cool. He like really showed the detailed parts of everything he was talking about. And then he decided he wanted to start a program for students, mostly K through 12 in the beginning, just to help them with studying and getting things done and helping their GPAs increase and all that stuff. So he would do presentations at schools and with principals and meet with different schools in the area and like try to onboard all these schools so that the students could use the platform. So at first it was just a website they would like log into and just like study through there, but they kind of made it like a gaming system where like whenever they help another student or answer a question, they get points, and then if they generate enough points, they get a gift card for Chipotle or whatever it is. And so it like made it like a reward system that the students could use. So the kids like that a lot. And they saw GPAs increase and everything else from using the program that they had. And then they eventually just had to go through all these other ways of getting funding. He had to have like an angel investor that would fund everything, because it was mostly heavy on like the software side and like the IT side. But because it was K through 12 schools, they weren't really making much money. Like this was like a public school, you know?
Right.
So eventually they transformed into doing it for colleges and universities. So I'm sure that was like a better payout.
Right.
But initially, I mean, he was showing like all the amounts of money that he requested from his angel investor. And it was just like 50,000, 50,000,
Yeah.
100,000. Like over and over and over to pay for like all the people he needed. And he had like a team of people, and he's showing pictures for all this. And he had at one point rented a house where everyone that was part of the team just lived there and would come and like work on everything every day, day in and day out. And then he had a part of his story where like him and his girlfriend basically like went without gas for a little bit because he was like, we need internet and other stuff more than gas. So something's got to go. Like They roughed it. I mean, they didn't even do like a side hustle just to like, they were all in on this idea. And he just believed in it. And he was like, there are plenty of times where I was just like, what am I doing? I'm in so much debt. Like I've just been asking for money and I have nothing to show for it. But he was like laughing about it and stuff. And he was like,
well, yeah, because he made it now.
Right. And he was showing their first check and it was like $1,000, and he was like, $1,000? That didn't get me anything. He was like, I had over like hundreds of thousands that I had borrowed. So he was just like, you know, he was just like showing the back end of everything. And in time though, they ended up making it. But
sorry.
What?
Continue. We'll go back into the chat after.
I closed the chat.
Oh, okay.
So whatever, they were basically showing the back end of everything and how hard it is and how you have to just commit to the whole thing long term and just keep going. I don't think everyone has that kind of success story, but it was really inspiring, like just to see how all in he was, kind of to like an nth degree. I mean, it was intense. Like I definitely wouldn't have been able to do it. I would have definitely either given up or gone a different job or something. But maybe because he was all in and so passionate about it and everyone else that was around him was, then maybe that's why they made it. You know what I mean? Like You never know what that secret ingredient is or like what makes it work for some people versus others.
Right. Like, does he like just keep going solely on faith?
I know. It's crazy.
I mean, that's part of why I want to keep going now, because at this point in time, and this hasn't always been the case, but I'm in the best situation possible financially, even though we're going through a pandemic. So it's not an ideal situation, but it is in comparatively to the past, and living in Miami, which is hella expensive living in Miami. Do not live in Miami. Or San Francisco. I haven't lived there, but that's also really expensive. But that is why I kind of want to push through, because, you know, even making $20, I could still pay for gas, whereas I would probably have to make like 70.
Right. Yeah.
Over there in Miami. So I was saying, but Chris's brother was here for Thanksgiving week, and that boy has made it. He's the younger brother, but that boy has made it. He works on Silicon Valley, in San Francisco for like a data science thing. So you know that man is living his life. But he also has friends who are very entrepreneurial. And he was saying, you won't believe how many people have created apps because they think that's the way to go that haven't had any users. He's like, the biggest problem is you need to have people using the app.
Yeah.
And I guess I never really thought about that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Remember a long time ago we considered making the Kits and Pieces like a party app, and you just go and click. But then I'm like, what if you spent? I mean, apps are a lot of money up front. You know, it's not cheap. And then it's also people have the money up front to make the app, but do you have enough money to maintain the app? Always updating. You have to update with every software that comes out. You have to update any glitches, any bugs all the time, and still make sure the product itself is relevant. You have new things all the time, right? It's a lot of back-end work.
And the design too, I feel like design changes all the time also. So you have to keep in touch with like what's most relevant and what's like easiest to do.
Yeah, just all of it. On top of already creating a product that works, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So, and it was just interesting to hear because he's on the inner end of people making real apps in life. And, you know, Silicon Valley, if you all know, is the place to be if you want to make it in life. And I always think of Silicon Valley and I think of like the guy who used to work for PayPal and then he created, what did he create after PayPal? Lyft?
I don't know.
It was on that podcast that I love. But he was just talking about how when he left PayPal, you know, things dissolved and he was just like, oh, I'm going to take my $1 million and then invest it in this new project. But it's like, that's the type of money they move around in Silicon Valley. It's in the millions, right? So it's much easier to start things. Or people are much more willing to invest. Like, it's just a different mentality. So if that's what he's saying from the people who live there, that most of the apps don't even make it, like, it's a hard world. It's a hard world. So the other thing I was thinking is, should I just, like, team up with someone? Meaning, like, let's say I don't have a person like that I've thought of, but like let's say
like a business partner,
but someone who, because I'm like great. My biggest strength is operations. So, even though I want to have my own shop, maybe some people already have all of those kinks figured out, and I just. You know, maybe they're at the stage of creating subscriptions, but they have a lot more inventory already. And maybe I just join them.
You're saying to partner up with someone that's in your industry that's already done it?
Or doing something that maybe complements it. I don't know. Maybe my product's too complicated. Like, there's too many parts to it, like Mango King was saying.
I think this is a common dilemma that a lot of like entrepreneurs face, which is like questioning the product.
Sorry, say that sentence again.
I know, I'm gonna wait.
Sorry, you know, I
feel like a common thing that entrepreneurs go through is questioning the product. And I think everything is everything, right? You can always, the product, yes, can be too complex, but at the same time, it can also be super simple. And I feel like it just depends on how you spin it and how you look at it. I feel like your product, and it's all relevant. Relative to who's looking at it, like to who's shopping for it or who you're approaching or whatever. So I feel like, to me, because I'm not in that background, I think it's simple because I wouldn't even know what a party needs. So like, to me, that kit does it all because I'm just like, okay, it has everything. I don't even know what I would need, but once the kit gets here, I know that's all I need. And I think for other people that are probably in the industry like you're probably thinking it might be too complex or there's too much involved or whatever. But I mean, I feel like you could also have different scales of the kits. Like maybe the smaller kit is just the tableware stuff. and maybe the next step up includes a garland, or maybe the third step up includes everything else. Like in that way, there's
Maybe
different
revamp
tiers.
it.
Yeah, like tier 1 is just like your basic thing, and then there's like advanced or intermediate or whatever different phases there are of like the type of party you're wanting to host. Instead of it being different sizes, it's like different things included in each one based on what level you're wanting to.
Well, right now it's separated by. It's all 3 sizes are for 8 people. It's how much decor you get.
Okay.
But maybe I can switch it up, because technically the first level of decor is just backdrop stuff, which I ended up doing that because I've been known as a backdrop person. Some other shops start with tableware.
I would think of tableware.
Right. So then I'm like, that's something that I don't need to change the photos for. So I could just change on the listing.
Yeah. Like, to
Maybe
me,
I could do
as
a
someone that
poll.
never throws parties, what?
I could do a poll. Like,
Yes.
start with tableware, start with decor. Where do you start when you plan your party? So yes.
I would definitely utilize the polls as much as you can, because that's where you're going to get your best answers.
Well, my target is, he's saying nowadays parties of kids. I'm sorry. You know what? What did you just say?
I don't even know.
I'm sorry.
That's why I turned off the chat. It was too much. I'm sorry.
No! I love Mango King's comments. Nowadays parties of kids my age is vaping and alcohol seltzers. So your market is likely older people. No, give me all the attention. Are you a Cancer?
Definitely not a Cancer.
Definitely not a Cancer. What's your sign? Oh, he's a Leo.
I was gonna say he's a fire sign. That's great. I should have said it out loud.
Oh yes. Well, also the target is women, because those are generally people. But actually, my target was busy people, which right now is not the main target, because we don't have enough of the resources to just like be like an express party kit thing. But basically my party kit is technically supposed to appeal to like single parents, because it's everything in a box, and you could technically set the whole thing up in like less than 2 hours, but maybe even an hour depending on some kits. And so I guess I just grew up, my mom was like always working, and I happened to like want to set up my own parties, but I realized like if I didn't want to set up my own parties, I would have no birthday parties. Like, so if I feel like that type of kit is relevant to busy parents, busy people, or like, oh, I forgot my coworker's birthday is in 3 days. Oh snap, let me just get a kit really quick from this chick's site. So that's the eventual goal, but right now I'll take whoever wants to get it.
Yeah. Or even like in tier 1, you could have both. Like you could have just the tableware and then just the like garlands, and then like if people wanted to just get each one, they could. But I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. I mean, I think that would simplify the kits more. Like it would break it down into different parts better, so that people understood what is involved in each one.
Like tableware, and then
yeah, like if you just had it more categorized, I guess. So like wall decor would be like garlands, tassels, whatever, and then like tableware would just be like your basic kit of just like napkins.
Maybe I should rename them even then. I should just be like backdrop. That's a terrible name, but just for the sake of this conversation, the backdrop kit, and then when you go to the next level, it's add tableware with tableware. I don't know, something about tableware. And then like deluxe is like add the garland or whatever. I've added get the look next to deluxe so that they know that's everything in the photo. But the reason I set it up that way is also because I saw it on another website that does party kits for little kids.
Right.
So anyway.
Because I was thinking, like, if I'm looking for a kit for Thanksgiving, I would go to that first, like, Thanksgiving kit, whatever. And then once I'm on there, I would probably just think of who I'm inviting or how many people. And then from there, I would be like, okay, what do I need? And as someone that doesn't do parties, okay, so I might not be the perfect person, but I would think first of tableware, like thematic tableware, like the plates, the forks, the utensils, the cups, whatever, because that's like what brings you're bringing people over because you have food. So I guess that's like the first thing I think of. And then I think the next step up would be like the wall stuff, because you also have to think of like, is there wall space where my dining table is? Like maybe there's no space for a garland, but I can always have tableware.
Well, yes, that's why the initial one is the balloon garland is not included in the mini kit or the medium kit, but I guess for me, because I'm thinking of my product too, right? Being displayed in your home, to me, the party does not look complete.
Yes.
If it doesn't have the other decor. So I don't want my product to look bad. Huh?
Maybe that could even be the name, like basic and then like complete party kit is like the one that has everything. That way you like the person also knows like they're getting the full kit. Like that's what you should have at your party is this kit.
Yeah. I agree. I have a website adjustments day to try to like improve the UI of the website, as well as like some design elements that help people understand it. I don't have a page or an area that kind of just says like explaining kit sizes. I mean, it explains it in each listing, but really quick, Sasha's a Cancer. That's funny. He thinks you're an Aquarius.
No.
Sasha's the biggest Cancer you will ever know. She is very, very sensitive, very emotional, very in touch with her feelings. But
I'm also an Aries moon. So
Aries moon? Ah, damn it, you cut out. Aries moon? Say that again.
I said I'm also an Aries moon, so I balance it out with some fire.
He's a Leo with a moon Cancer. Did you hear me?
Really?
I don't know my moon sign. What's my moon sign?
Up.
Did we ever look that up? And I'm a Pisces, because I talk a lot.
I think you had the same moon sign. I think you were also an Aries moon.
Oh, yeah, that's why we get along. I remember this. I'm a sensitive Leo. So I guess let's just lead into the next, sorry, just like a really quick tidbit on, or do you want to talk about it all? We're already here for like 2 hours. Oh my gosh, it was so fast.
I know. That's why I turned off the comments. I was like, we're getting towards our time.
What'd you say?
So much for a short one.
Oh yeah, I know. I was like, let's keep today short. But I was like, no, it didn't happen.
I think we covered most of it though. I didn't have much going on for myself this week just because I'm still like getting moved in and figuring stuff out. And then I started a new job this week, or kind of last week, but more this week. So I'm kind of like focused on that. But yeah, I think this was good. Do you feel like we talked about everything?
I feel good. The biggest thing was networking for me, and I feel like that kind of went into what you wanted to talk about, which was staying consistent. And you really just have to push through, honestly.
I know.
But then you hit a cap. You hit a cap. There's only so much you can just share and post about, and that's where you need to expand and get other people's content and work with other people and blah blah blah. Put put quotes or whatever. But then at a certain point, I'm like, I want to work on email lists. I feel like my Instagram's going. I want to grow it, but it's going. It's not like dead. Yeah. But, and I think at the end of the day, if we all get real jobs again, including Mango King, don't feel like, any of this was a waste of time, because you never know where these are going to lead you or what people are thinking of you. Maybe you're the only person they've seen do party kits or episodes or like a vlog or functional mini muffins. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I've gotten hired from an HR person watching my music videos that I make for fun.
Yeah.
So that lame music video got me to move to Nashville. So, and the job had nothing to do with music videos or music.
Right.
So, you never know. But that's why I'm like, I'm never gonna stop doing this. Like, even if I push it as a side thing and decide not to grow it, I mean, I love it too much.
I just think you should probably commit.
I want to commit.
Okay. I would try to not think about not committing as much as possible. Like,
but that's why I'm like, if I keep committing, I need to take it to the next level. I can't keep committing at this same level because we're just going to be bleeding money.
yeah.
Yeah, there needs to be financial, like a loan or whatever, a grant, and there needs to be more people, and it needs to be moved
But I think
along.
even if, like, you do stick to making it a main thing, like, some of the time you're spending working all the time, because as an entrepreneur you work all the time, could be on looking for grants or looking for other sources of funding that could help take it to the next level. So maybe that could just be something you include in your, like, week's worth of work. It's just like spend an hour looking into potential ways of getting free money for the business.
Yeah. And I'm also excited because like the next couple of kits coming out are timeless, meaning it's not seasonal, which will be a lot easier for me to apply for a grant and be like, or do a collab that's not like you need to post it by this date because then it's Christmas and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So, hopefully
Well, I feel like the Small Business Administration, they have a lot of options, and a lot of the woman-owned stuff, like there's women-owned stuff everywhere, and they usually also have ways of giving funding to women-owned businesses. So I would just play on a lot of the like minority terms too and try to find like funding for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I think that would be a good, I remember when I first started Botana Bites, that's what everybody told me to do. They were like, look for funding. And I was so hesitant. So I was like, I don't need it. Like, what would I even use it for? La, 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 la. But no, you always need it. You need a lot of it all the time.
Well, even just, paying this my marketing friend, I can afford it, but I shouldn't be spending it myself.
Right.
Like, it should be a business. It's a business expense, but it should be other money, not money that I've earned. So, yeah, I guess that's what I was saying. I'm like, if I'm going to keep doing this, and then, like, finally I got her on board, and then Chris is doing a little better with ads now. Like, we're kind of getting on a flow, whereas before we were just like, what the heck are we doing? So, and those are, like, two things that I don't have to worry about, really. I still have to worry about it, but, like, let's say in a month, it'll be kind of, like, on their own. So I can focus on funding and getting my Pinterest perfect and being in groups and all of that.
Right.
I totally get it now. Like my friend used to work, this is my last story of the day, but my friend used to work for a small business owner who I do agree with her in this part that the small business owner of a restaurant, she did not have any business experience. She's like our age, but she had like these successful restaurants, and I want to put quotations just because she was in a bunch of magazines. She was like, that was like the hot new restaurant in town. Super young hot chef was also like the appeal to it, right? This young girl, like super pretty, does yoga, and like has this cute restaurant. And she had opened like 3 different locations, so it seemed like really thriving. But on the back end, it was my friend was running one of the locations completely on her own. Like she like almost never saw the owner.
Wow.
Who was someone her age, who was still starting a business, but of course her face, the business owner, was on the face of everything.
Right.
Face of every article that was about that restaurant, all these like glamorous shots and like interviews all the time. But then she'll be like on a vacation in Spain, and then was never there when my friend was calling like the freaking restaurants like burning down. I wasn't burning down, but so. But then now I get it on the other end where it's like you start delegating and you just really are the face, and I would never be just the face like in that way, but you just start networking, and it's more about the connection than you sitting here making your products. And I feel like I used to really look down on that, but at a point you have to kind of step out of it a little bit. I think that girl stepped out a little too much from like what she, like the purpose of her thing. But at the same time, it's like, isn't she looking for new ways to like expansion and all of that? And I'm like, should you expand if the core of what you have isn't as strong? I don't know. I'm not at that point in my life, right? So I mean, there's a lot of things that now I feel like I understand the other end a little bit more. Not that I agree with the business owner, but I identify a little bit more of how she could have gotten to that point. Because from an outsider point of view, or from an employee, you're like, yo, this chick is crazy. She's never here. Like, what does she even do? And then I see her in Spain, like.
Yeah.
So.
I think you're right. I mean, I think there's a healthy amount of delegating and an unhealthy amount where it's like too hands off, and then you kind of lose touch with the core, and then everything kind of crumbles. And then also too, I feel like sometimes that happens, but it's because the business is only surviving off of like debt, like a lot of debt. And I feel like there's also a healthy way of funding your business. Like you could obviously do it that way, where you might have like investors, you know, pitch in, but you still kind of owe them. Or you could do like grants or like a Kickstarter or like something else that you can, I don't know, not have as much debt accrue. So I mean, I don't know what they did as their like business model, but I think that also is like a big distinguishing factor in like the success of a business long term.
Yeah.
Is like how they started their financial part of it, like in the beginning. So I don't know. Yeah. There's so many routes to take. That's why entrepreneurship is such a full-time thing, and it sucks because you're not getting much money in the beginning, but it's like it could be worth it later on. Like it just depends on how committed and how things work out. But I don't know. But yeah, I think UI is super important. And maybe we can talk about this next week.
No!
A website is to use.
Sorry, you cut out. You're still cut out. Okay, you're back.
Okay. It's like how easy the website is to use and like maneuver through, and how clickable things are, and like organized, and I don't know, however things make sense. I think that's a big part of it.
I mean, yeah. I mean, even you talking about my kits, where you're like, I need your kit, and Sasha's not the type of person to celebrate much of anything, and she finds a need for it, but it's only because you understand it. You've seen the development of it. But imagine someone who's never seen it. Do they get that same feeling when they go through my website, or are they just like, oh, she sells party stuff, and they leave? So
I know. Yeah.
That's it right there. So, yeah. Anyway, that was a good talk.
Or maybe you could even look at the back end of your website and see how many views your website gets per day, and then judge how much time you want to spend on changing the UI based on that. Like if it's not even getting much traffic right now because the ads aren't where they need to be, then screw it. But if you're getting like a lot of, you know, clicks on your website every day, yet no orders, then maybe that's a key thing where it's like, oh shit, I need to spend time on the UI because something's not connecting. So.
Yeah, and then I was also thinking of, should I just not switch to Etsy, but should I really just focus on Etsy because it does a lot of the work for you, so there's that too.
Yeah, I know. And it already has an audience.
It has an audience that cares, and but the only thing is you can't customize more than 8 guests. But maybe I can change it for for Etsy and just do it at, you know, mini, whatever, basic, blah, 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 complete, and then how many guests.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so much easier. That's so much easier. That's how I would think of it, is just like, what do I need? And then how many people are coming? Yeah.
think we just took a turn here.
Oh, the conundrum.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know how long ago this was, but Mango King says, never getting a real job. I would rather go homeless. I know, man. I mean, I liked my corporate job. Not saying that's bad at all. And,
yeah, you can have a job you like.
But I do enjoy this, too. The only thing is that it's a little lonely, so I'm really grateful for this situation that we're doing right now. But, I mean, you guys are basically my coworkers. Because even like my marketing friend doesn't live here. I don't see her. And then, I mean, yeah, my boyfriend helps me, but it's not exactly a coworker.
Yeah.
And or marry a rich husband. That's so funny because I used to be like, I would never be a trophy wife. And now I'm like, I am happy to be a trophy wife if it allows me to do my party kids. She's like, let me do the party kids and go make all the money.
I'll catch up with you in a few years.
Yeah. Wait. We watched like a comedian. I don't remember who. Oh, I think it was the Asian lady. What's her name?
Ali Wong.
Ali Wong! And then she, like, makes all the money now because...
Yeah, she's great. I love her.
Famous comedian. But before, she was not. So that was funny.
Yeah, but I feel like that's a partnership, too. Like, you know, help out, and then other times the other person helps out.
Oh, this could be a great topic another day, is relationships in entrepreneurship.
God, yes, it would be. Okay, I'm writing that down.
Okay, because I've had
other entrepreneurs be like, it's so much to be a business owner, and be in a relationship. And I'm like, you're right, because they're both full-time jobs.
It's very true. And, like, it's also finding the right person for you in whatever way that is. In general, finding the right person for you, but then also, I mean, I've had past boyfriends, and even if they were supportive of the Kids in Pieces, I need like a runner, right? Like someone to run with me. It's different than, I mean, some people just want the person there, and that's okay, and, you know, come watch my farmer's market or whatever, but I definitely need a runner. So, like, I need help with the ads, and I will help you with whatever project you're on, but so anyway,
that's a good point. We can talk about like what support looks like.
Yeah, or even if it's not like a romantic relationship, it could be like maybe you live with your brother or sister or, you know, parents, and ways they can support you.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, I've hired my mom and then I fired my mom because I mean she had good intentions, but she couldn't freaking glue a photo prop together without burning her fingers. So I was like, you're fired. I can't be here trying to save you every photo prop for every photo prop.
You were so funny. She had good intentions, but...
So yeah, next time, what was it again? Relationships and...
I'm writing it into the meeting notes right now.
Wait, but we had a second topic.
We did?
Yeah, we're like, oh, we could talk about this. Oh, UI.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say adios to our stream. But, oh, it's funny. This doesn't have to be for the stream. So I'm going to say bye to the stream first. So everyone, thanks for joining today. And we'll be back next week with a couple more cool topics. And feel free to give us a follow. Watch this later. We hope you are inspired to continue your side hustles.
Woo-woo.
And I'm going to end. Oh, snap. Just kidding. Sorry, I promise I'll figure this out eventually. It's just weird. There you go.